What's good, world? Hope everyone's doing good on this Monday. I'm going to do a brief recap of this Carolina Duke game that went down Saturday night. As y'all already know, Carolina did win 71-68. And I told y'all in the pregame video that whenever Carolina and Duke go at it, throw the records out the window, throw everything out the window, because it doesn't matter who is the favorite. It doesn't matter which venue it is. This is by far the most unpredictable rivalry in college basketball. Maybe Michigan State can rival that. But this is the reason why Carolina Duke is the best rivalry in college basketball and predominantly all sports. You just never know. Got to give credit to Duke. Up until the last couple minutes, they pretty much dominated this game. It was one point where Duke was up by double digits, and then Carolina stormed back in the first half, and I think they was down by like 3 or 2, and then Duke started to pull away by halftime, so it was 41-29, and Duke had full momentum in that second half, and it was like double digit lead. Then I look up again, the lead was 6. Now I look up again, the lead was 4. Then next thing I know, Carolina came clutch down the stretch and managed to play smart Carolina basketball, wound up tying it up. And then they played really good defense down the stretch. Wound up getting the ball back, find Sel Trimble. Trimble hits a game-winning 3 to win the game. So that was, very clutch for Carolina. Very happy they got the win. I know the fans storming the court, which I'm gonna talk about it in just 1 second. But nonetheless, for Caleb Wilson had about 20 some odd points. I feel like for the most part he did kind of outplay Cameron Boozer. I think the only advantage that Boozer had was the rebounds. But other than that, I feel like he outplayed him. But it was more so a three-way show between Caleb Wilson, Henry Vassar, I realized I mispronounced his name, and Seth Trimble. Trimble had 16 points. Vassar had about 20 some odd points. They was really, I think they made their bread and butter at the 3-point line. And one thing I always say about the free throw line, excuse me. And one thing I always say about the free throws is they're free for a reason. You got to take your time with them. Don't be in a hurry to shoot them, because when you be in a hurry, you wind up missing it. You take your time, get your aim right, you make them about 98% of the time. So definitely made our bread and butter there. And nonetheless, it was an overall good game, because I didn't want to give up on Carolina. There was one point, it's like, can Carolina mount a comeback? Because I'm sure that some people are probably like, well, this one's over with. Carolina has no chance. They're getting dominated. They pretty much going to lose this game. And then that was, then Carolina shocked me. They got it done, And I feel like this is kind of like, getting that monkey off their back a little bit, because, you go back to the Syracuse game last Monday where Carolina was up by 30 points. And then next thing you know, that lead dwindled down to 8. And then Carolina did manage to win by 10. So, they want to ensure, I guess they wanted to have a comeback win instead of being up big and then just kind of faltering down the stretch. So, you definitely have to get that monkey off their back for sure. So, and what better way to do it than when a comeback win against Duke? Now, this is Duke's first loss in the conference. They're likely going to win the ACC tournament, and I know they're going to be pissed off when Carolina goes to Durham next month. Definitely can't let up when the rematch comes around in Durham. So, but as for Carolina, another statement win. They needed another statement win in the biggest possible way. Kentucky's been kind of iffy. Maybe if Kentucky continues to Kentucky has Florida this week, so, and they did beat Tennessee, so that's one ranked win. Let's just say Kentucky somehow beats Florida this upcoming Saturday. Then if Kentucky's not in the top 25, I haven't looked at the rankings yet. So if they're not in the top 25 and they beat Florida and manage to make their way to the top 25, then that could count towards being a quality win for Carolina when they beat Kentucky at back in Atlanta in December. Because I feel like Carolina will need Kentucky to win a little bit more to make their resume look better as we get closer to the tournament. And who knows, if Kentucky keeps winning, then that win over Kentucky becomes a statement win for Carolina. But right now, it's kind of on the edge whether it's a statement win or not. Kansas definitely a statement win for Carolina. Early in the year, Kansas seen a bounce back from that loss to Carolina. They've been playing good basketball over there lately. And now you got the win over Duke. So, a couple of statement wins to make the resume look good for Carolina. I'm not sure they're gonna get that 1 seed in the tournament, but they also got they also got some more opportunities to make that happen. Like I said, you got another game with Duke. You got a game with Miami this upcoming. Actually tomorrow you got a game against Miami. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the Miami game momentarily. You still got to play Clemson. Clemson's been looking good this year, so North Carolina's going to have some opportunities to really impress their resume. So we're going to see what happens with that. But nonetheless, good win. Carolina got fined $50,000 for the fans storming the court. I'm sure there's no skin off their back, so hey, it's Duke. It's worth it. So, but as far as the storming the court thing, I kind of disagree with the fans storming the court, because you're a top 15 team and you're playing better basketball than you did last year. I just felt like it was very unnecessary for Carolina fans to storm the court. Me 10 years ago be all for it because, hey, you don't live once, but this is not like a year where Duke was ranked number 1 throughout the entire year and they've been undefeated, haven't lost a game until they came to Carolina and took that L, and Carolina was playing mediocre basketball, unranked and on the bubble, and then you just happen to beat Duke, and that would be a good reason to storm the court. But now it's a top 15 team with some quality win, quality wins too, but with some statement wins under your belt, and knowing that you had a good chance of winning this game, that just felt very unnecessary. Now I don't care about the fine, it is what it is with that. So, but nonetheless, I did want to touch on that for a second, just kind of get my 2 cents in. But yeah, I hope the Carolina faithful and relish this win. After the game, obviously it was a meetup on Franklin, so which is something that Carolina always do after a big win. And I'm sure y'all relish it on Sunday up until the Super Bowl, because I know some Carolina basketball fans are also Carolina football fans, and they was probably rooting for the Patriots to win last night because of Drake May. And I'm not even gonna get into the Super Bowl. That shit was boring as fuck, y'all. That Super Bowl was boring. I'd rather not talk about it. But big ups to the Seahawks, though. They deserved to win it. So I'm not gonna take anything away from them. But that game was just boring. But nonetheless, we got it. But now Saturday and Sunday over with. We're in a whole new week. Carolina moves up to number 11 in this week's AP poll. That's the only one I've seen so far. I will look at everybody else's when I get the chance, because I just happen to see it on my ESPN app. I just haven't looked at everybody else's. All right, but it's back to business now. We don't want to linger too long on this win over Duke, because we got to stay focused. We got a business trip coming up down in South Florida. Miami, like I just said, the Miami Hurricanes up to deck. The Miami Hurricanes on deck now. They have played better this year, So they possibly could make the tournament. They March Madness tournament. So definitely cannot afford a letdown. We got to go out here and take care of the Hurricanes on tomorrow night. Continue to win. Continue to impress. Continue to improve the resume. So if you get what I'm saying, but yeah, that's all I really have. I did not want to make this video too long, so I appreciate y'all for scoping it out. I probably will try to make another Tar Heels video in the future. Just depends what the time depends if the timing is right. So I'm not gonna be just making videos when it's Duke games, you know, because it's more to UNC basketball than just playing Duke. Obviously, the ACC tournament will be coming up. I'm gonna try to make some videos for that, and then more than likely Carolina will be in the March Madness tournament. So I'm gonna definitely make some pregame videos for the Carolina's upcoming opponent, whoever that may be when the tournament begins. So, but anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. So I appreciate y'all for scoping it out, and I will see y'all probably. I don't know when I'm gonna see y'all again. I'm gonna try to. We'll see what happens. Like I said, you know, obviously I'll see you when I see y'all. I'll leave it at that. So y'all have a good night.